Hi techies, welcome to this video. In today's video, let us see a sample program. In this program, we'll do a HTTP listener, how to work with HTTP listener. So let's get started. I'm creating a new project. I'm not going to import this project from any ramls. Okay, I am just going to create it on the go and for just to understand the purpose of the HTTP listener component in MuleSoft. So I need to uncheck this box because I'm not using any ramls for this, and I'm creating a project. Okay, now it's created the project for MuleSoft project for me. Now let us go ahead and configure the listener. Let's check the palette. From the palette, let's take the HTTP listener. Then to manipulate the data, let us check the data view, a transform message, and a simple logger component to verify the same. Okay, so this is our simple project. Now let us configure the listener. Okay, before configuring the listener, let me give you some insights on what is this HTTP listener. This HTTP listener is used to get the uh, response to the that is used to start this project whenever the API endpoint that is configured is accessed by any other websites, like from the browsers or from any other API points. If this API link is used, it will invoke this application so that this application will start to run successfully. Okay, so this listener is listening to what API link we need to configure that. So let us configure a new listener. Yeah, I'm naming the listener configuration as 1.1 for my naming purpose, and I'm pointing it to a local host 8081, and I'm going to give the base path. This is the API link, that path of that API. Okay, so since it is a basic HTTP listener that I'm going to use, I'm just giving it as HTTP. When we are configuring for the real-time project, we have to provide, it will be definitely HTTPS. Okay, and it will have some authentications and SSLs or TSL to going to be secured on this HTTPS. Okay, and for now it's HTTP, and I'm going to give it. Okay. So this red exclamation indicates there are some errors. Now we have fixed it and need to save the application. Okay. The next is we are going to give some data here. Okay, here it's in the Java For simplicity, let us take an example of a JSON. I just already have some sample JSON here. So I'm going to use the JSON. So when I'm using this JSON, then I have to modify the data type here and remove the Java object, and I'm giving it as JSON because I'm not giving a Java object here, right? So I'm giving a JSON, and no data transformations here, just a sample straightforward data it is. Okay, so done with that, then we are going to give see the logging. Okay, so I'm giving the payload here, going to print the payload, and I'm just setting the level of it as info. So it will be printed in our console when we run the application. Okay, so what is this path? You can just specify as test. Okay, just some random names, but in application we have to specify it with the path that we need, like it is a meaningful API link. So it should be something that's going to be some like employee details or employee. Then within that we may have many post and many put applications. So based on that we need to create, update or delete the employee details. So based on that the further path will be defined. So for now let us not go into depth. I am just giving it as employee for because we have something related to some employee data, sample data. Okay, so this is done. So let us run this application and check it out. So in my console I'm having the application that is starting to build. The build is success. It's initializing and deploying the application locally. Now the application is deployed successfully. Okay, and what it says here is that HTTP listener that we have configured is successfully reconnected. So now we can test our application. So this is a sample for testing the HTTP listener. So whenever this API is invoked from another web browser, it's going to work. So let's test this application. Now it is deployed. We have built it, deployed it. Now we are going to test this Mule application.